arts
Awesome.
in technology.
Awesome. Who was the host?
Sabrina is the yesterday. It's her is the host.
Yeah, she's great. Okay, we're live and I sent the questions. Can you see it?
Yes.
So, question number 1, as you saw in the video, do you think flying cars will ever be popular like in the movies? And now we have a lot of news that show a lot of companies, they are developing flying cars in prototypes. So that being said, do you think that will ever be a thing that common people or commercial flying cars will ever catch?
I think the fly cars in the first moment, it's a prototypes. Okay, and these prototypes, it's usually to transport foods and the other things like Amazon selling, for example. But people in a short time, I think it's too expensive. It's I think so. It's like to travel helicopter, for example, to around the city, and probably more years it's possible, but I don't know if there are companies about the car in the street. It's agree about this because there is a lot of rules and the speculation about this. The flying cars at the moment.
Yeah, I agree with you that it's very expensive and will be very expensive for a long time. But for a few years ago, I was very skeptic about it because it's a very long shot. But thinking about it, when plane was invented, it was a shock to everyone. And it took a lot of years to become a thing and to work out how it does today. But I guess it's a real possibility in the future. But yeah, like planes and jets and helicopters, it will be very expensive for a long time. So, but I don't see the real use of it to commercial flying cars because we already do have planes, jets, and helicopters that carry just a few people, and we will have to create a lot of new air traffic rules to to manage the cars because they will fly very lower than the planes, but in the future, from a lot of years from now, we'll have I don't know, maybe an intense air traffic with flying cars.
Yes, I agree with you. If you think, for example, São Paulo, it's too crazy the traffic and manage the fly cars. I don't know.
Yeah, imagine where you have to park. Okay, I just got here. I have to park here in front of my work. What do I do?
Okay, it's just so crazy.
Uber flying cars.
Yes,
that's an interesting thing to think about it.
Yes, I think Uber, there is a project or developing about this because I remember I watching a short movie about the Uber flying car. But I don't know if they continue this project. I remember to watch this 3 years ago, but I don't know if they continue this. I remember it's a similar a short helicopter, for example, and they transport 2 people. But I don't know if they continue. this?
Yeah, it's interesting because in my mind it's like a helicopter. It doesn't make much sense, but like in the video we saw, the car can turn into a flying car and it can ride as well on the ground.
Yes.
And so it can do the both things. So if it will be like this, it's interesting. If not, we already have helicopters. It's not very much interesting.
Yes. I think if you find the YouTube, the Uber's electric air taxi, for example.
Let me write here so I don't forget. Uber air taxi. I'll search it later.
Okay.
Very interesting. I never heard about the Uber.
I think it's a short project, and I don't remember if it's too expensive and they can sell this.
I know. Have you ever heard about Google Glasses?
Yes.
Yeah, I guess it may be like this. It was a very awesome project. It was very interesting, but it didn't happen. It wasn't viable. So they ended the project. The project died and it didn't go to the stores. They just launched a few units to just a few people to test it, but it wasn't. The project was very amazing, but it wasn't functional.
Yes.
Maybe it was like this. So question number 2, Letícia. What invention do you think had the greatest impact on society and why?
In my opinion,
it's
a big question. Okay. In my opinion, I think it's not only invention, but the invention that talk about the health, the food, and the environment when the people live. It's the greatest impact on society. But if I manage it, because my mind is too imaginative, I think the good invention is to transport one people in another place too fast. For example, like transporter, like Star Trek, for example. And I stay here now, and I stay in the other place in a few seconds, for example. But it's okay. It's a dream imagined, but in a society in general, in real life, for example, I think what of invention about the health and the food and the environment when the people live, it's a great impact on the society.
Yeah. About what you said with teletransportation, I don't know if I read something or I saw somewhere a lot of years ago about the scientists were able to teletransport an atom, one particle,
Yeah.
Just one particle, one nanoparticle. They were able to move to one place to another, but it was something like it demand many hours of energy, and it was very. It was not something that they could do anytime, just to do with one particle. It demanded much energy, so they were able to do it, but at least for now, it's not a thing like superheroes.
Okay, I know it's a part of my creative mind, okay, but in society it's totally different.
Yeah, it can be awesome, but it can be dangerous as everything. But I think mostly it would be awesome.
Yes, it's like a movie.
Yeah, so I would never be late to my appointment. It would be a nice thing. So I could travel to a lot of different places. There's one movie, it's called Jumper. Have you heard about it?
Jumper. I
Jumper.
didn't remember. I think I know.
It's not very old movie. 2008. Yeah, it is very old. It's a movie from 2008. I remember I saw it and I enjoyed it very much. It was something like this. The guy was able to teletransportate himself. At first, he wasn't able to control. He didn't know how to do it. But it was like he think about some place and it demands energy, like in real life, it demands energy. And he had a lot of problems and he got involved with so many bad guys and the guys were trying to kill him. It's very crazy. I think you may like it.
I know, because it's good in a movie, in a sci-fi, the sci-fi movies, but in a real life, it's not possible because people, it's crazy. And it's okay. Imagine you teletransport in the other part, but part of your body, no. Okay.
My God, Leticia.
But you see a sci-fi movies, there are some problems. You think the software there is a problem, the teletransport is a technology. Technology, there is a problem sometimes. Okay. It's my imaginative mind.
Yeah, but your mind, it's actually right. I believe like this. You think very ahead of of everyone.
Okay.
It's interesting to accomplish. So let's head to number 3. What do you think the world will be like in 100 years from now? Just a few changes. I know it's very utopic to think about that, but I don't know. Like 100 years ago, maybe someone was thinking, oh my God, how it will be on 2022. Did the person was right? Did the person got even close to the future? I don't know. What's your opinion?
I hope the road it's good, but I don't have idea. I don't know. It's too crazy, because if you think 100 years before, it's totally different now, and it don't have a lot of technology, and the others technology, it's step by step. And at the moment, the technology, it's too fast, and the people around this technology is too fast. The big tech, it's work too hard and fast in the other.
Hello?
About this, but in the hello. Can you?
Hello?
Hello? Can you hear me?
Now I can hear you.
Okay. I don't have idea, but I hope is the road it's better. But sometimes I'm too
what
crazy
about. What do you think
it.
about flying cars in 100 years from now, for example?
Oh my God. I don't know. If I think it's in 100 years, it's possible other transports, not in flying cars, for example. Flying cars, it's probably in 20 years. But in 100 years...
You're an optimist person. 20 years? Do you think 20? So?
20 years, but I don't know. I think it depends the country, depends the parts of the road, depends the countries. It's possible there are fly cars in one country, but in the other no, because it's a big gap in different countries. And if you think 100 years, in my opinion, the big gap continues.
I guess the gap was astonishing big. Now it still have the gap, but I don't know, maybe talking about me and my bubble, I guess it's a bit smaller, the gap.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm talking nonsense, but I truly believe that the gap is smaller. It's still very big, but it's smaller than 100 years ago. Because not even only the technology, but mostly the politics, because even with all the problems, there are a lot of policies now for people who are poor, from the minorities, and they are more visible now than they were before. So I guess my opinion about 100 years then. I don't know, maybe. Yeah, I don't know, maybe not flying cars, but I truly hope and believe that we don't have another war for real, because we had two less than 100 years ago, two big wars and the Cold War. And I don't know, it's hard to think about this, because 100 years ago, I guess we didn't even think about the things we have today. It was like 50 years ago, and now we're developing and shaping the ideas. 100 years, it's a lot of time. But about your profession, how do you imagine to be?
If you think about this, I think a lot of people use the technology like rice and beans, for example. More rice and beans, learning and understand the technology like rice and beans. I think there are people movement around the road.
You're very funny.
Okay. Okay, it's a little joke, because the technology, it's improve fast, and it's necessary people think and use more technology in 100 years, for example. It's part of their life more than are at the moment, for example. And I think the children and the like technology in your hands. If you grow up with this part in their life, and I think a lot of works disappear, and there are a lot of people don't have a work, and they need to learn other skills and complete their life, for example, because in the future, I don't know if all people would like to work as a technology, because I don't know if in 10 years I continue to work in the technology. Sometimes I need more free time. Technology consumes a lot of time in my life if I work with this, because I produce software and the other tools for other people. And I have other occupation in my life, but I don't know. It's a philosophical
it's a very
question.
good point.
It's a philosophical
It's a very good point. About the jobs, I guess right back in the Industrial Revolution, a lot of years ago, I guess people were very afraid of the technology about taking their jobs. And we still have this fear. I see that we still have this fear. It's a bit different now, but we still have this fear, because it's clear that we won't have many not many jobs, many positions like we do today, many professions. And some professions will disappear and other professions will appear. So I guess the less specialized professions will disappear because of technology making our lives easier and taking part of it, but we will need more specialized professions and people. So it's very important to keep public policies to many people as possible go to the university, because we will need a lot of specialized jobs, a lot of specialized professionals.
Okay, I agree with you. I remember the book when I read some months ago about these features, this improved technology. I think 4 years ago, and I remember the books talk a lot about it's not a fly car, it's the automation car, for example, and the algorithms about big data and how these algorithms select people, for example, in a bank or in some categories, for example. Because if you think about these people, it's totally different one by other. And these algorithms put a lot of people in the same category. But I don't know if it's good or better. And this book talk a lot about this. And these books talk a lot about the automation cars, for example, and the other decisions their cars there is, for example, if the decision there in a company or in the people buy a car. And the one example they talk, it's, for example, if you have in your automation car and the kid run in front of your car, what's the car do? Stop or kill the kid? You see? Or wow. I don't know. I don't know. And the author asked about this because if the decision is in the company, some companies like decide to kill the kids or kill the driver, and it depends the company.
But why deciding to kill? Can't the car just brake?
Yes, because the situation, it's the car is fast in a runway, for example, and sometimes the kid run in front of the car, and they don't have time to stop the car before hitting the kid, for example. And the author explain how many situations it's possible to do, but don't have a rule, and what and who are decision this, the driver or the companies. It's a like book because if you think about the improvement of the technology, there are a lot of rules in the developer's hand, not in the other people talk about this. And
wow.
It's okay.
My God.
Okay, it's a many scenarios that author talk, but it's possible. I don't know.
Totally
possible, because in his opinion, it's a automation car. It's good if all cars there are automation. It's not one by a driver and the other is automation, because when they're all cars automation, they speak with each other, and they know how the time he'll turn left and the right and the other things. But when you talk about human, it's not possible to prevent this.
But in this case, you're talking about automated cars. It's just the self-driving car, and it doesn't have a driver inside of it. Just the car.
A driver. The car run. The car runs.
Wow.
For example, you decide your destination and the car runs.
Wow. Yeah, it's very complicated, but it's totally possible to happen what you just said, because it happens all the time with humans driving. The possibility is an external thing that's coming in the direction, not only a kid, maybe a dog, or maybe something that is thrown in the direction of the car, or maybe, I don't know, it's raining a lot and a tree comes in the direction. It's a lot of possibilities are real. 21 lessons to 21st century. Nice.
Yes, it's a good book, and when I read this, for example, the artificial intelligence about the algorithms and shows the people in the bank or in the other things, it's not higher than now, for example. It's the first step. But now, if you read this book now, if you need, it's too fast, I think.
Oh, my internet sucks. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Sorry, my connection is very bad. I just looked into this book you just sent. It's very famous on Amazon.
Okay, it was.
I'm fast. Did you read it in Portuguese or English?
I read in Portuguese, but I read it again now. Parts of this
in
book.
English.
No, because I had in the Portuguese. Okay, it's not in English. I read in my book it's in Portuguese. Okay.
It's very big. How many pages?
Oh my God, I don't remember.
200.
432.
What? What? It's a Bible.
No.
My God.
432.
Wow.
Okay, it's
maybe
the book is divided in 4-5 parts. It's not necessary to read all the parts because they talk about technology in the health, in the future, and in the other things. How impact the technology.
I guess it will be very interesting for our meetings to give me some ideas.
Yes. Yes, when I read this book, parts of this book again, I remember this class. It's so good because there is a lot of things to think.
So when you're reading it, you can send me a lot of good suggestions, okay?
Okay.
I guess maybe next week I think we're talking about technology and health, like telemedicine and technology in hospitals and things about this.
Okay.
I think it will be very interesting, but you have always great suggestions. You can send me if you have one. Next question. Are there some things, in your opinion, that should never be invented? Why and what?
At the moment, the fake news. At the moment, the fake news.
Great, great, the best.
Okay, yeah.
Wow, I wasn't expecting this answer. It was like the best one. Thank you.
Yes, the fake news, and in the second, the people created the fake news.
Humans in general.
Yes, because in my opinion, technology it's not worst, and the people and how people use the technology and the many things in the road, it's the worst. And it depends the people they use.
Yeah, I get very upset when I see those movies about, wow, there's something very technological here, and this robot will take over the world and want to kill humans and something like this, because guys, they're not bad, they're not evil, they're not good, they're not, there isn't good or bad about technology. It's how we use, it's what we do, it's everything about us. We can't send the guilt to something else, not even someone else in this place, but something else. We can't do this. It's not real.
I agree with you. And for example, a few months ago, I watched a news about the technology in Japan, for example, about the robots. And there a lot of some restaurants when people eating alone, but it's not alone because you talk with a robot, but not the artificial intelligence robot. In the other side of the robot, there is a people, and people, there is a disability, for example. And the people talk with in the client of the restaurant, because there's a lot of old person living alone. And they and if you think about this, you create it's not an occupation, the correct word, but you create an environment when people there, for example, there is a disability, or the people, it's an old person and they work in a robot, and the people, it's a client of the restaurant, there people, there is a company to speaking when they in your lunchtime, for example.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yes, it's the part of the technology. For me, it's amazing, but the fake news not. No.
Never.
And I agree
But
with
about
technology about this.
About this restaurant, is just one place, or is this something common out there in Japan?
I think I didn't remember it's a only restaurant, it's a one restaurant, or there more, but I remember the guy, they live in Japan for a few years, and in the news they talk about this, and they talk about the people who there is in the both sides, the client and the people works in a robot. And I remember parts of this, they talk, it's a rule, it's a government rule about to inclusion their other peoples in the society.
Wow.
It's totally different when you live in Brazil, for example.
Very.
And the fake news, it's
in Japan we have robots doing the site to connect people who have disabilities or elderly people to the person who is having lunch alone. And in Brazil we have fake news.
Yes. Okay.
It's awesome. It's awesome.
Okay. And the gap of the road.
Yeah, the gap of the road. But I guess those things like that and this kind of news I saw when I was very, very young. And these kind of little things that made me fall in love and want to work with tech. I know it's a long way. It's a long shot. Maybe I will never work with amazing things like this, but it's awesome what we can do with tech, because this is amazing. We have to use technology not only to make money as the capitalism do. We have to use the technology to connect people, to improve our society, to improve connections with real people, not to fall apart like it's happening nowadays. It's very complicated. It's very difficult, but these kind of things give me hope, because it's beautiful. We help people that we don't even know. And it gives a just warm here in my heart to know that people who feel alone and people who they don't have contact, or maybe they're in the hospital, or maybe they can't leave home for some reason, or they live alone, they don't have relatives, they don't have family anymore because they're very old. I don't know. It's awesome. It's very nice.
Yes.
But I guess my favorite of the day is fake news should never exist.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a great one. So about technology, if you could choose only one to use, only one, I don't know, let's give a month. What would you use? A car, a computer, or a telephone? Like when I say a telephone, I don't include internet access because just a computer likes put the internet. So it's a real possibility.
I don't know.
A car with unlimited gas. You can go anywhere with your car. The computer, it's the best one you could ever have, and so is the phone.
Okay. I just like car and I like my legs. I prefer walking and take a car, for example. I just like car. It's not imagine.
Why do you like cars?
In a car. I don't imagine spend a lot of time in a car because the traffic, it's horrible. I prefer my legs.
So a flying car. There's no traffic.
I don't know. No, it's impossible to imagine the future we don't have a traffic. It's impossible. I don't manage this. I prefer my computer or my cell phone, but and my legs to walk in the other places, and I use the technology. But a car, no.
Nice. I just saw, I didn't check if it was real or not, but I just saw on Instagram that Earth just reached 8 billion people.
Yes.
8 billion.
Yes.
Billion. Oh my God.
I listened, I think last week or this week, I don't remember. Yes, it's a lot of people. Imagine a lot of people in the car. No. No.
Imagine all the people walking.
Okay, but I'm walking too fast and I'm crossing the people. The car, no, car it's a bigger.
Yeah, but it's only cars, right? You can have your telephone and use the metro, you can use the bus, you can use the airplane, not only car.
Yes, I prefer other transportation than the car. I don't imagine in the future don't have a car, don't have any other transport, and don't have any other traffic. In my opinion, in the future there are more and more. Okay, but I'm afraid about this because
do you drive?
No. No, I don't have car, and I don't have car and the license, neither. I just ride my bike and my legs. Okay, I
love
prefer
riding my bicycle. It's something that makes me feel so good.
Yes, I know. I don't manage to spend a lot of time in a car, in the other transports. I know. No.
Yeah, I have the license and I drive eventually, but I hate driving. Being real,
no.
I hate driving.
No,
I think it's very stressful.
Yes, too stressful, and you pay attention any things. Oh no. I prefer use my time to others.
I prefer to be the passenger because I can look into the landscape. I can choose the music that's playing on the car. I can talk. I can do anything. I don't like driving because at least here in my city, people drive like crazy. They don't use I forgot. I guess it's not arrow in this case, but they don't give seta. And it's very hard and dangerous. So I prefer to be the passenger or maybe walking by my own legs.
Yes. Yeah, no. One day in my life, I would like to have a bicycle, but it's not a bicycle, it's a moto. I don't know if it's a bicycle.
My God,
Motorcycle. But at the moment, no. I in my future, I prefer living like a nature and use my legs. Not cars, not the traffic, not just my computer and the internet, probably my cell phone, and I like this.
I have an electrical scooter. It's something between a bicycle and a motorcycle. It's very nice. It doesn't run too fast. It's like 50 kilometers per hour, the top speed, and I don't waste money with gas. It's awesome.
But do you use a helmet?
Obviously.
Okay.
I'm very worried about that because I'm very afraid of having an accident. I never had, but I'm very scared about it.
Yes.
But my dream, as well as you, maybe in a long time from now, I want to live in my house, in the nature, with the computer and connection to the internet.
Yes.
I have one dog now, but I want to have a lot of other ones and maybe other pets.
Yes.
But I want to live like in the nature in my house.
Yes, it's not use the car.
Not using cars and not having to deal with traffic.
Yes, and in this time, it's possible to have a fly cars to deliver in your house. It's a better.
a flying iFood.
Yes, it's nice.
Amazon, iFood, I don't know, Uber if you need.
Yes.
This kind of services that we use here in the city, right?
Okay. It's a great
where do you live?
Porto Alegre.
Yeah, it's a big city, so you deal with a lot of
the traffic here, it's crazy.
Intense.
It's crazy.
Yeah, I've never been there, but I know a few things about it.
Yes, it's the traffic is less than to São Paulo, for example, or Rio de Janeiro.
São Paulo is crazy.
Yeah, but if in here I'm too crazy about this, I don't imagine. I live in a big city, and Porto Alegre it's not a big city compared to the others, but it's a limit for my life.
Yeah, São Paulo is very insane. I never drove there, and I don't want to because it's like you have 5 roads, so it's car here, and it's very, and they have so many. The traffic is crazy. It's something like this, and I miss the entrance. Oh my God, I just it's not for me.
Yeah, me too.
So like your mind is so creative. I guess this one is good. I don't know if you ever thought about this, but what's something useful that you would like to create? Anything.
Okay.
You can't say teletransportation because you just said.
Okay. Teletransport, it's possible one day, but I think it's not necessary think about the money and the food and the sleep, and I just travel around the road. it's sometimes I use the food to create. People live. And if they decide to occupy your life, okay, but if they don't decide to do, okay, don't have wars, don't have any problems in their lives, I think I think it's good.
Oh my God! Please, can I live in your world?
Yeah.
I want to be invited to the party, please.
Okay, and I don't know, but I don't manage to create a thing. I don't know when thing you touch, for example. In my imagination, I create a different lives. In my life, in the other people's, and yes, and my mind is it's too imaginative. Okay, it's creativity, and if and then I think the life is different, and the people and don't have fake news, wars, and problems, and the other things, and the people live happy, and the people live how they decide how their lives it's good, but not pressure, not it's the worst in the other lives. In the other lives, for example, I don't know how to explain this. Oh my God!
I'm getting it. That's okay.
Okay,
I'm following your.
Okay, and I don't imagine any problem in the future. The problems there is now disappear. People live by their lives, and it's good for me. It's my creativity in managing the future. But I don't know.
I love that.
But I don't know.
It's a good. When I first wrote this question, I was thinking about with my small mind that I didn't remember about. I was thinking, oh, maybe you create a new cell phone or a flying car or something like this. Like I really was thinking about something you can touch. And for a long shot, maybe an app. You can touch the app, but you can use it. You can see it. But it was a very nice answer. Interesting, as always.
Yes, because in my opinion now, you are look at it. No, you the people in general, not you specifically. The people in general look in your cell phone, in your social media, in your unreal life, for example. And I think it's necessary more real life and the freedom life.
It's very interesting to hear this answer by a software developer.
Yes.
That works with tech, that studies tech, that breathes tech. It's very interesting.
Yeah.
I guess I don't know your routine, but maybe 70-80 part of the day of your day you deal with tech, you deal with the screen.
Yes. A lot
that's maybe that's maybe the reason, because you think about these things because you're saturated to just look the screen and doesn't truly live the life and I don't know, the simple things like you said, go for a walk and ride a bike or do something like this.
Yes, and it's part if your life your creative mind to have more freedom. For example, I work as a technology, but in my opinion, the technology there is some problems on how they use this, and I'm agree. Technology help people, help people, but I'm too critical about this at the moment.
That's great.
And I think how to use the technology in the other part of your life, and the others people don't have tech people, but their life it's good. Okay, and in my life too.
Ours is good too. Our lives is good too.
And my life is good too.
Yeah, happy for you. Okay, I have to send you the survey link. Just let me get here. Okay. So I have to say you, as always, if you want to rate, give suggestions, etc., But if you want to write bad things about my immersion, I will know that it was you. Okay?
Okay.
So be careful about what you write. I know that's you. That's only you and me here.
I know.
So Leticia, our time is up, but I really enjoyed our very private session today. I like that we talk a lot, not only stuck to the questions. It's very interesting. And I love that I always end the immersions with very good suggestions about books, podcasts, and things, and news, and flying cars, and Ubers. It's a very interesting content that you bring to it's me, but to all of the people that take part of the immersion. So thank you very much.
Thank you. It's a nice conversation today.
Hope you'll be here. Next week we're not having the immersion because I forgot. I don't know if you know about this, but we're having a presential event of Talk and Talk out there in São Paulo, and it will be next Thursday. I live in Goiânia. It's very far, and I work. I don't work remotely, so I can't go, unfortunately.
Oh my God.
Yeah. I wish I was there. I really wish. But all the immersion, as I know, the immersions at night and in the afternoon, if I'm not wrong, they are canceled on Thursday. Okay. So see you the next week.
Next. Okay, no problem.
Bye bye. I
Bye-bye.
hope you have an amazing end of the night and end of the week.